Ito ron, makakasama po natin ang ating butihing Israeli Ambassador to the Philippines, Ilan Fluss. Po ang ating Philippine Ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador Ilan Fluss, makakasama po natin live sa ating programa para malaman natin ang actual situation sa Israel. At makuha natin ang assurance mula sa Israeli government para po sa kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan na nagtatrabaho at naninirahan na sa nasabing bansa. Nasa linya na po natin, we now have in our line of communication our Israeli Ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador Ilan Fluss. Shalom, Ambassador Fluss. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Shalom, Ray. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for indulging us in our program today, Ambassador Fluss. First on the list of our question is, can you give us an update on the actual situation in Israel as we speak, Ambassador?
Yes. Well, we're still probably in the last stages of gaining control over the southern part of Israel. Still also in the process of assessing the exact situation and what took place, and obviously still accounting for the injured and more also of course the deceased, the murdered. And on the same time preparing ourselves and already started the next stage, which is, of course, we cannot agree to continue living with a terror organization that again and again is attacking Israeli civilians. And now we are moving to the next stage of basically eradicating the terror and the military capabilities.
Ambassador Fluss, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel is at war and that it will implement a military operation offensive against Hamas in Gaza, one that will be cannot be compared to other military operations. How can this be done? How can the Israeli Defense Force assure that the military operations against these militants will spare or will have a minimal casualties on civilians?
Well, I have to say that the Hamas does not make any distinction between civilians and militants. As we have seen, using an Israeli holiday, the Simchat Torah, where Jews were in synagogues, and taking this opportunity and attacking Israeli citizens, civilians, towns, villages, elderly, children. This is something that we cannot agree to have this at our front door, and it's happening again and again, and this time into such a scale. So actually the Hamas has basically opened a war against Israel, and we cannot, so now basically we're in a stage of war. Now the IDF, I think globally, is well known for operating in such complicated areas, since Hamas is is using civilian shields as part of their strategy, and they're operating from within Gaza, on purpose, from within mosques, within hospitals, and what we are calling is on civilians to keep away from Hamas operatives in order to be affected. We do not attack indiscriminately. We attack only Hamas bases and the Hamas operation. We have to remember Hamas is supported by Iran. Iran basically is behind it, and we are slowly receiving more information about coordination. It has still to be verified, but generally speaking, Hamas is an organization supported by Iran and gets its weapons, ammunition, funding from Iran. Israel, I just want to repeat, Israel is making sure as much as it can when it is fighting against terror, and that's a global effort, not to hit civilians and people who are not involved.
Okay. Well, Ambassador Fluss, will the ongoing military operation against Hamas affect any bilateral agreements with the Philippines, especially in the area of agriculture, innovation and technology, labor, and other agreements, especially the modernization of the Philippines Armed Forces?
I don't expect that anything of that kind will happen. I think we have very strong and close bilateral relations. The agreements are solid, so the commitment is there. it is important to say that we care for the Filipino workers. We have caregivers in Israel. We have hotel workers in Israel from the Philippines, close to 30,000. And this is something I raised actually last night in my meeting with our Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Cohen, who has actually expressed it very, very clearly that we are committed to the safety and security of Filipinos and any other foreign nationals in Israel, as same as we are responsible for the well-being of Israelis. We do not make any distinction between Israelis and non-Israelis. We'll make sure, or we'll do our best, the same as we do always, for Israelis and for non-Israelis. On other MOUs, we are committed to our agreements. Until now, to the best of my knowledge, there is no impact on bilateral relations, on bilateral agreements. Let me also say that we got a lot of messages of support and sympathy from different communities, from politicians, from people within government, with civil society, of course from the church, Christian movements, friends, business colleagues, who all basically send me very, very kind messages of sympathy, of support in Israel in its difficult time, and we see this globally. And I have to say the message of support, I think at this time, are very important and very meaningful, and I'm happy that we're receiving this kind of support here in a very close and friendly ally of Israel in the Philippines.
And of course, just what you said, Ambassador Fluss, the Israeli government is assuring the safety of all Filipinos living and working, not only in the southern region, not only in the Gaza Strip, but all over Israel. Thank you very much, Ambassador Fluss, for your time, and we are sincerely praying for the safety of all Israelis and all other nationalities living and working in Israel for their safety. Thank you very much, Ambassador Fluss.
Thank you very much.